Welcome along to our Wednesday wrap of NBL action and a round that saw the zero-fee Southland Sharks post a remarkable come-from-behind win over the Pistons to stay on track for finals action. The Hawks kicked off the round with yet another win, getting the better of the Giants by 5. In New Plymouth, the Mountaineers resumed action by keeping the Rams at bay, the Canterbury side falling again on Sunday to cellar dwellers the Rangers. The Pistons, however, bounced back from their loss to the Sharks to overhaul the Nuggets, thereby getting something positive out of their road trip.
Tough loss, I thought the boys did enough early to, and they came home really hard, and fast, and, as the game got close to the end, they were, racing in there, and I thought, with a couple unlucky breaks, just simple stuff being available for the ball, we weren't able to execute down the end of the game.
It seemed really physical from the sideline. We were right down with the sideline. This game seemed pretty physical. There's a lot going on there, and that injury, how is Senior?
Not too sure. He just got carried, and now we're going to get probably x-rays tonight. But hopefully he's okay. But it was a tough game, and I'm really proud of the boys early. We just weren't able to close it out, and a little upsetting, but we've got to move on.
But you have another crack next week at them?
Yeah, next Thursday. They come up to our house, and should be another cracker.
Coming into the business end of the season, aren't we? It's all on. Well, it has been all on all season, but things get really heavy now.
I think both us and Sharks came into this game both 4-3. Obviously, we had an easier schedule than them, but every team on their night can beat anyone. Waitaka beat the Saints the other week, and Taranaki's upset a few teams. So everybody's tough, and we want to stay in the hunt, so we've got to accrue some more wins, and we've got to play a little bit better and a little bit tougher down the stretch.
Well, Paul, let's talk about the atmosphere firstly, then the game. Quite amazing.
Roller coaster, to be honest. I'm glad the fans love it. I'm glad that we got the result we wanted. Just a real gutsy effort from our guys. We fought through so much through the game. I swear I've aged 5 years in a couple of hours. It was just one of those games where it was important to both teams. But the way this crowd comes along, the way our community comes and supports us, and that atmosphere is the best in the competition by far.
Quite amazing, isn't it? Well, just as watching the game, the incredible energy coming from the crowd. Do you think that is a big factor?
For sure. The guys feed off it. We've spoken about it before. The energy that atmosphere creates gives the guys a lift. That's what home court advantage is all about in any sport across the world. You use that energy, and so it can benefit you in your play. And I think our home crowd, like I said, it's the best in the competition, and it really gives the guys a big boost.
You were trailing into the end of each quarter. How optimistic were you? 10 behind at one stage.
Like I said, it was a stressful game, and it was a frustrating game. I didn't feel we played well. I thought Waikato played very well, especially in the first half. But as bad as things were going, we never, the game was never out of hand. And I was just waiting. We just needed to make that one final, momentum-changing run, and we were able to do that. I don't know, at some stage in the fourth quarter, even, we got it back to 5 at the end of the third. And, in basketball, that doesn't take much. We had a good start to the third quarter. We tied it up, I think, pretty early. And then from there, it was a roller coaster ride, and frustrating to be a part of, but real fun. That's why we do. That's why we compete. That's why the guys play. That's why we coach. That's why the fans come to see competition. And I think that was competition at its best. I think the guys are pretty physically drained. Kevin Braswell, God bless him, 35 years old. I had to play him 35 minutes. We had so much foul trouble. I've never coached a game where I'm looking down the bench and I'm running out of guys. And that's no disrespect to our young guys. They're there for to do a job as well. But we just had so much foul trouble to deal with. It was just, you had to try to manage the game and manage the minutes and the fouls throughout the whole game. We did the same thing against Nelson last week. Nelson shot a whole bunch of free throws in the first quarter because they were being aggressive, I thought, and doing the right thing offensively. Once we started to do that in the second half, we found ourselves, getting to the line. The more aggressive you are at the offensive end, the more calls you're going to get, I believe, and I think we made that change.
No Gareth Dawson.
Yeah, Gareth's got some personal issues going on that he's dealing with, so we missed him. But I thought, James Patanatai just came in and, he's played probably a maximum of 7 minutes this season, and to step into the starting lineup and just play the way he did was really good.
And challenge to come up against your old mate, Pura Cameron.
There's a few of us, it's great that we're all in the league coaching and competing against each other. Tab Baldwin, who we both played for and had a lot of time with, every time we come up against each other, we want to beat each other. Whether it's for bragging rights or to help out your team. That's what I was talking about before. It's that competition, that competing, and it's fun, but it's challenging and frustrating at the same time.
Looked like a real physical encounter.
Yeah, it really was. Holly always has these guys ready to play a physical game, and we tried to punish them a little bit down low with the key early in the game, but in the second half they really stepped up. They took that away from us and did a good job just keeping that physicality up and doing enough on the offensive rebounds to get that win.
What was the strategy right at the end there? It was anyone's game right up to the last few seconds.
Yeah, I think once they got up by a few, we were just trying to extend the game a little bit. Foul, hopefully they would get a miss and we could possibly make it a three-point game, get a look at a three. But unfortunately, Braswell, he came up big down the stretch, hit a lot of those free throws. We didn't really want to foul him, but he kept getting open for the catches, and we had to do it with the short clock.
It's getting close to the business end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's happening quick. It seems like we're only 6 weeks in the season, but we're already almost halfway through. So, it's quick. They're coming these double headers on the road. We've got 2 more of these after this weekend, so we're going to have to get some of those wins on the road in those difficult circumstances.
How tough are those double headers?
Mostly it's just physically. You have to back up in less than 24 hours, especially when you're traveling in between. It's not the easiest thing to do, but every team in the league has had to do it this year. Everybody's had a lot of difficult double headers, and we're no exception.
Certainly put a good show on for the crowd here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't come out the way we'd hoped to, but they had a great turnout tonight, and they always have down here in Southland. The new stadium, I'm glad to see it's built up and the roof holding steady, and it's always good to come down here and try and get a win. Unfortunately, not tonight.
This is a tough environment. These guys are a very good team. The same team that won it last year. They brought everybody back. So they're well experienced, and they know how to fight back when they get down in tough game situations. And they proved it tonight. Going into the fourth quarter, we feel as though like we got some good enough looks, and we didn't get the stops that we needed to down the stretch. But hats off to them that they fought a very tough game, and it was very competitive, and they came out with the win.
It's a close competition, though, isn't it? It's anyone's game.
Yeah, it's anyone's game. At any given moment, you can be up 10, down 10. These guys are very well coached and very well played, and they got very good players on their team.
It didn't seem insurmountable. It always felt from the sideline anyway. There was always an avenue to come back.
Yeah. Well, with our team, we know we don't know we're the best, but we kind of, we just have to think it now, because most of us haven't been in the position where we're defending a title, so we're getting everyone's best shot now, which is brand new to me, but it's just showing that the guys that have done it are starting to rub off on the others, and these fans tonight. Whew.
Yeah, that does add something, do you think?
Definitely. Some of the guys on the court were like, man, this crowd, so it's in their heads that they're here, and definitely shows us support.
A few collisions out there.
Yep, she's a rough game. But our trainings for the last 2 weeks have been like that. Like, just getting after each other. No personal attacks, just within the lines, we're not friends. Like, if we're not on the same team at training, we're not friends. But once we step out, it all changes.
It's good to have that pressure on the court, though, isn't it, in training and for real?
Yeah. And that's one of our big keys. Like, we're trying not to tighten up when the pressure drops, which has been a big thing for us. So they've got something to prove to us now, because I think there's a bit of bad blood after tonight. But hey,
nothing wrong with a bit of bad blood.
No, definitely not.
The Hawks continue to set the pace at the top of the table, and despite having played more games than all others, are providing a cushion for when the Chasers play those catch-up matches. The zero-fee Southland Sharks move into fourth ahead of playing 2 games away in the next round. The Nuggets' early season form seems to have deserted them, and they continue to slide. And the Rams slumped to the bottom after the previous anchor, the Rangers, got the better of them this week.